house was perfect, too perfect. That's what made it evil. David Ashford's hands shook as he signed the papers. $280,000 for a Victorian mansion worth triple that. The real estate agent's grin stretched unnaturally wide. Previous owners left suddenly, she said. Nothing wrong here, just sudden departures. He should have asked why. Margaret, his wife, and their children, Emma and Thomas, stepped inside. The air smelled metallic, old iron. Dust lay thick, but nothing seemed out of place. Yet, shadows twisted unnaturally in the corners. By the first night, Emma complained she couldn't sleep. She whispered of footsteps pacing the hallway when no one was there. Thomas reported voices calling his name, faint at first, then urgent. David chalked it up to nerves, old house noises, but the second night shattered reason dive. At 3 a.m., Emma screamed. The walls seemed to writhe, shifting inwards as if alive. She clutched the door frame, pale as chalk. "Something is moving inside the walls," she cried. David pressed an ear to the wood. Wet, slurping sounds echoed. The walls throbbed beneath his hands. Thomas awoke bleeding from his nose and ears, streams of crimson dripping on his bedding. The doctor could find nothing wrong. Margaret found massive wet footprints appearing overnight, bare, impossibly large, ending abruptly in the center of rooms as if the floor had swallowed them. By Thursday, the basement was alive with singing. A woman's voice, cracked and ancient, chanting a language predating English. David followed with a flashlight. Frost spread across the floor, forming an eerie circle unmelted by heat. Dr. Patricia, paranormal investigator, arrived first. Thermal cameras, EMF readers, audio recorders. She tried to rationalize the disturbances. The EMF reader screamed in Emma's room. Not a beep, a shriek. A seance in the basement ended in horror. Marcus, her lead researcher, was found hanging midair. No rope, no supports, fingernails torn to the bone, eyes frozen in terror. Father Michael O'Brien, confident in faith, lasted only 8 hours. They found him lying in the master bedroom, his vocal cords shredded from screaming. Blood flowed from his mouth in a steady stream. "It is pure evil. It wants death. And it knows you," he whispered to David, barely alive. The house grew more violent. Shadows stretched and attacked. Doors slammed, walls bled, ceilings twisted. Mirrors reflected victims screaming, faces from centuries past. Emma was nearly dragged through her ceiling. Thomas was pinned against walls that pulsed like muscle. David fought them off with furniture. Margaret brandished kitchen knives like weapons, but the shadows ignored the steel. The basement groaned. Something unseen dug through the floor, sending tremors across the home. Each step closer intensified the dread. By dawn, 2 more specialists were dead. One impaled on a staircase railing, the other pinned mid-step to the hallway. The house lived. It thrived on terror. David found a hidden diary, Cornelius Ashford's notes detailing blood rituals and centuries-old covenants. The covenant requires sacrifice. Only blood sustains the evil. It is not hunger, it is malice. It revels in fear, in terror. Feed it or die. The family huddled upstairs. Outside, a shadow emerged from the window, not shaped like a human, yet aware, watching, smiling. Emma whispered, "It's waiting." The walls shuddered. A wet, clawing sound began from beneath the floorboards. The house's voice echoed through every room. "Descendant, choose or perish."